guys, what's going on? So today we have a collaboration video. I'm the Irogen gamer. We have Teladia and Sergeant Skydiver here, and we're going to be talking about some of the WB game projects coming out. So I'm just going to go ahead and have Sergeant start it off.
Hey, what's up, guys? So basically, I'm going to start with the Suicide Squad game that was in development at WB Games for a good few years now, since Arkham Origins and Assault on Arkham were released a few years ago, respectively. So the game started off in development around early to mid 2014 and was worked on by WB Games Montreal, as far as our knowledge. It was worked on for until the end of last year in 2016, and it was cancelled due to it being too ambitious for what they were going to get out of it. As you can imagine, Arkham Origins was kind of a flop compared to every other Batman Arkham game, and so they were putting so much work and money into this game that it wouldn't have been as big as payoff as it could have been. And also to do with the fact that the Suicide Squad movie had come out and they wanted to release at the same time, and it was going to be set in the Arkhamverse, but they didn't meet their deadline, much like the Dark Knight game that was going to come out in 2008/2009, which spawned the creation of all the Batman Arkham games. Earlier this year, there was a leak of concept art for Harley Quinn in the game, and it's talked about gear, just like in Justice 2, and how you can upgrade your character, much like in a game kind of like World of Warcraft, if you get my sense, where you can upgrade your character and armor and stuff, kind of like Arkham Underworld in a very weird retrospect. But the game would have been just like the Arkham games, where you could have been play as any of the Suicide Squad members that were in the game, specifically Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and all the main guys that were in the Suicide Squad movie and in the comics. And it would have been a free roam game, just like the Batman Arkham games. But it didn't, and they decided it didn't really make sense why Harley Quinn would go around for grappling hook, going over buildings. It made a little bit of sense for Deadshot, but not as much for people like Harley Quinn or Killer Croc or whoever they wanted. Maybe Black Spider, I don't know. But it was too ambitious for them to get done in the time they wanted and the payoff they were going to get. So it was just scrapped about almost a year ago now, which is kind of sad. So I wanted to see how it would have turned out. If it flopped, it flopped. Like even Arkham Origins, I was happy when that came out, even though it wasn't as good as it could have been. So now we're going to talk about the Superman game. Teladia, over to you.
Yo, what's going on, you guys? This is your boy Teladia Plays. So, the rumored Superman game, well, it's not 100% confirmed, but what I've been told is, guys, that it possibly could be at Rocksteady. And, it's kind of controversial thing because there's no evidence to suggest that it is at the moment, but there's only like Easter eggs from Arkham Knight that actually pointed directly towards Superman because he is the next popular character to be developed. I know that Rocksteady months back said they would like to do a dream game. I think no, actually it was years back. Sorry. So they said they wanted to do a dream game, a dream DC game, and who's the ideal choice? But it's Superman. So yeah, and I think that in terms of them to release it, I would possibly think that they'll probably release it next year, considering the fact that it's the 80th anniversary of Superman. The Doomsday Clock is also going to be released next year, and on top of that, also as well, is the Justice League DVD and Blu-ray that's also coming out because the Justice League movie comes out um, end of this year. So that's what I've pretty much got to say. So I'm gonna hand it over to Irogen Gamer, and he can talk about the Batman game.
Yeah, guys. So I've actually been able to talk to someone who works at WB Games, and so first, just to get it straight, I don't know this guy like personally on a personal basis. I do know he is legit though, and I've been able to talk to him on a few occasions, and so kind of from what they said, he kind of confirmed the Suicide Squad and Superman thing of what both of those guys just said. Um, and he actually made it sound like it was a sure thing, but recently he's been kind of downplaying it. And so my interpretation is that there's some possibly internal investigations as to who's leaking so much information. But as far as the Batman game, first thing is Arkham Insurgency is fake. So please stop asking me about that. It's not real. I know that the other guys on here with me agree with me on that. Um,
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's pretty bogus. But
unfortunately.
um, yeah, so it sounds to me like the one that at least was in development was the Damian Wayne Batman game. Now, keep in mind that it did get rebooted, or at least it sounds like it got rebooted. As far as whether or not like they just mean it got rebooted like as a story, so it's a different story, or if they're full on starting from the ground up, a brand new story and a brand new game in general. We don't know how, like, what the extent of this reboot was. Um, but we do have to keep in mind that there was a Damian Wayne game in development at some point, and we actually did see this from a leaked video on Facebook from WB Games Montreal. We saw a screenshot for this game, and I know that Slickmoff did a video, and it was actually pretty well done, where he went through and talked about how it does line up with the leaks for the Damian Wayne game. So if you want to go check that out, he does a really good job explaining that. So we do know that that one was at least in development. What it is right now, I'm not 100% sure. But recently, Kevin Conroy did come out, and he basically said that there are going to be no more Arkham games. And I feel like there's more than what he's saying. I don't know if he's just not aware of a new Arkham game, or if he's been told, like, purposefully by um, WB Games to not say anything. And Roger Craig Smith said something very similar, that he's not working on a new Arkham game of any kind. And so it's just really been interesting. And like I said, my source has been really downplaying what's been going on kind of at Rocksteady and WB Games Montreal. So it'll be really interesting to see what ends up happening. So with all that out there, is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Craig Smith.
Well, the thing is with the fact with Kevin Conroy, I think, in my own opinion, is that I do think that WB might not have said anything to him, because the fact is, he he said, "Oh, I'm not. There's not going to be another Arkham game," um, but like WB knows that he messed up 4 years ago. You remember Comic Con, some sort of Comic Con or something, where
Yeah.
he stated, "Oh, I'm working on another Arkham game," and everyone assumed
And it's
it.
not Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
Everyone thought it was Arkham
He kind
Origins.
of just gave away the entire game then, didn't he?
Yeah, he gave away the entire game. So I believe that the WB might have not said anything to him at the moment, and there's no
Yeah.
voice work done yet, but
Yeah.
they are
So,
working on
so
something.
The game could be in very early development for all anyone knows at this point.
Yeah.
yeah, well, so the thing about that though is that supposedly there was a trailer that was supposed to drop for this game back in December, and I don't see them dropping a trailer unless there was some voice work done. So who knows? Like, maybe with the reboot, they said, "Yeah, we're not working on another one," just so that he wouldn't go and be like, "Oh yeah, they rebooted and they're doing a new Arkham game," and like, yeah, or maybe they have said like, "Hey, you totally gave away Arkham Knight." Um, so you do know about this new Arkham game, but do not say anything about it. In fact, just say it doesn't exist, because there's so many leaks out there that we want. Maybe they want to be a little bit misleading and make us
Or
think
for,
that
for all anyone knows, they might have recast him in the new role, considering now he is upping up in age, and it might be just a bit too much stressful for Kevin Conroy.
yeah,
He is getting into his old age now. He is 61 years of age, and he's
Yeah.
still actively voicing Batman. He might
Uh-huh.
want him for other projects, like especially.
yeah,
I think he's going to have some kind of role in Gotham by Gaslight, but it won't be Batman.
yeah.
He is very booked up with DC and especially WB.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very real possibility. The other possibility, though, is that potentially in that rebooted time when they were rebooting the game, for all we know, they could now be working on an Arkham Origins sequel, and right in that window of when they were figuring out which game they were going to do, that could have been when Roger Craig Smith didn't know about a new Batman game, and now it could be where Kevin Conroy thinks that they're done with the Arkham game. So they could have made the swap, and I don't know. That sounds like it might be a little too convenient. Of
Yeah,
Too-
I
or
don't
too
think an
far-fetched.
Origin sequel would be in any kind of development nowadays. Like,
I
Yeah.
I'll be
very real possibility.
I'll be honest with you though, that I don't think that there is an Arkham game, because if there was gonna be like a sort of Arkham game, they would have said, yeah, there is an Arkham game happening.
No, you're
Uh,
not allowed to
not
confirm or.
no, not like that. Like, um, there would have been like some sort of hint on the old, like Arkham Knight. There would have been some sort of hint towards the
Well,
next.
I
There
I
was
think
quite a
there's
few of
actually,
the
like,
Fug dialogue where they
there's
said when they leave Gotham for a while, yeah, it's been very good to them.
Yeah, there's been a lot of like, and even the way it ended, like if you listen to kind of what they wanted to do with the Damian Wayne game, the ending of Batman Arkham Knight actually kind of sets that up if you think about it with that mindset. And also, like, yeah, I agree. They're probably not doing an Origin sequel, but there have been a ton of requests from fans as well. Like, that's kind of been the
Yeah.
like if, when all the leaks for Arkham Apocalypse, I guess, with Damian Wayne were coming out, no one seemed that interested. And even though there's like a ton of solid evidence out there for it, people are still saying no, that's not the real one. Arkham Insurgency, it's a freaking Reddit post, and everyone
made news
jumped on the
articles
ship,
about
and
that.
yeah,
That was
and they were
everywhere.
like, and everyone was acting like it was confirmed, and it was this big thing, and so they said there would be a trailer on March 8th for Arkham Insurgency, and there was no trailer, but for some reason everyone is still saying that it's real and it's the real one, and it just, so I think that could have been like if the Damian Wayne game wasn't up to the quality that Warner Bros. Wanted, for example, then maybe when they were canceling it, they said, yeah, but do an Origin sequel because that's what everyone's saying they want. I don't know if Warner Bros. Would pay that close attention to fans because it doesn't seem like they do,
Fair
but
enough.
yeah,
But it's like what I'm just gonna say is like essentially is that WB. I think what they're gonna do is hold off for a couple of years before we get another Batman game because
yeah,
it's because
they'll
it's
probably want to do like a Superman game first or something.
yeah, yeah, because it's the 80th anniversary for Superman next year, and the year after is the 80th anniversary for Batman, and the Batman movie comes out the year after.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Well, and I know that a lot of people have been complaining about the length of time that we've been waiting for another Arkham game, for example. But my argument for that is like
it takes 4 years
we
to
don't
develop.
want it. Well, but we don't also don't want it to just turn into the next Assassin's Creed, where every year we're getting a half-assed title that's like,
Call of Duty.
yeah,
Sorry, my throat.
and I know that probably people are going to disagree with that statement. Everyone's going to say like, oh, but Assassin's Creed Origins is going to be great. It could be, but with that, like, that's what everyone said about Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and it, like, no one even talks about that game anymore. It was big, like, 2 years ago.
Assassin's what?
Ass-
Assassin's
what?
Creed Syndicate.
Assassin's
What
Creed.
was that?
It was a game that came out 2 years ago,
Oh
and yeah,
yeah. I
everyone
forgot
talked about it for a while, and yeah, it was just forgettable. Like,
I
everyone
kind
was
of
really
saw it.
excited.
I thought it was an Arkham game.
No, it's
Or
not.
Yeah,
a prequel, so similar.
yeah,
So, but we'll just say this, just before we just finish up everything, is that don't
yeah.
expect another Batman game for a couple of years now, guys. And don't tweet us and say, "Hey, do you know any more information about the Batman game? Do you know any more information?" Because at the moment we do not know have any more information, but what we've told you, even for the Superman game as well, like we don't know much.
Mhm.
Like if I did know any more information, I would have said. So, with all that being said now, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. We'll give the links to our Twitter and to our, all the other social media outlets so you guys can follow us on.
Yeah, right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Yep. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.